bread. It's a great thing. I love homemade bread. But what do you do when your oven stops working? How are you going to make bread? I figured it out. I got 3 different ways to make bread without using an oven. You're going to like this. So here's our dough that I had taken out of the freezer and was going to go in the oven, but it can't now. So we're going to use a crock pot. Go figure. The bowl comes out because we're going to put some cooking spray in there so that it doesn't get all stuck to the sides. And because I don't really know how this is going to work out. So out of the bowl and into the crock pot goes my sticky dough. And there it is, just one big ball. And I thought, well, let me stretch it out into a loaf kind of looking thing. Just because. I don't think it mattered at all. So that's it. We're going to plug this puppy in, put it on high, and let it bake. This is at the 1 hour mark, and you can see it's coming along kind of nice. Here we are after 2 hours. It's all steamy. It's got a little bit of a crust on the sides. So we let it cool for 5 minutes and then dump it onto our wire rack. And I think we got us a little loaf of bread. It's a little stuck on the sides. Not really, but I had to grab a flipper just to get it out. And you can see how the bottom looks. Not bad for 2 hours in a slow cooker. And there you have it. There's loaf number 1 without using an oven. So on to the next one, which is more dough in a bowl. The other half of the dough I had. And it's pretty sticky. It's been sitting there about an hour. We're just going to kind of roll it around a little bit and a little bit of flour. Just like that. There's our next loaf. So into a Dutch oven that we've sprayed. We're going to put this dough in and let it rise for about an hour, just like that. Put the lid on it and we'll put it aside. Now here we are an hour later. It's risen a little bit, but not a whole lot. Let's throw it on medium-low heat. And it's going to cook for 20 to 25 minutes. And here we are once it's out, but a little bit of a problem. Look at how it's burnt on the bottom. Well, we let it cool down. Took the burn off. Because I remember that's something my grandma would have done. Ooh, I got burnt toast. Well, she'd scrape the burn off and it looks good now. So that's what I did. Now we're going to slice into this. It smells fantastic. But I'm already seeing a problem. It was burned on the bottom, and I don't know if you can see it with that slice, but there's still dough. It hasn't completely cooked through. So this method doesn't look like it's working. Well, that's disappointing. But, you know what? From your mistakes, you learn. So I had to try this again. Because, look, you can see all that dough in there, and it's kind of depressing, but I hate admitting defeat. Here we go. Round number 2. I put all the ingredients I need into the loaf pan, into my bread maker to make some dough. Here it is an hour and a half later. We'll pull the pan out. There was enough dough with this batch. I could have easily made 3 loaves instead of 2. So live and learn for next time. Now the fun part, digging the 2 paddles out of all that gooey dough. Well, I don't know if it's fun. I don't think I want to have a paddle baked into my bread. And now we're dividing it into 2, and like I said, having done this a second time with completely fresh dough, I would have divvied it into 3, but you'll see in a minute. So here we are. We're ready to go. So here's my Dutch oven back for try number 2. Spray it up, put the lid on it. Onto the stove we go. So we let it rise. Here it is an hour later. You can see how big it is. I'm thinking it should be okay. Still got a couple inches to the top. Here we are about 15 minutes later, and it literally went up to the lid, and you can see some of the dough on the lid. But it's okay. I even let it cook a couple minutes longer than it should have, so it is a little browner on the bottom. But this time it turned out. I'm pleasantly pleased with this loaf. And we cut it. There's no burn on the bottom, and there's definitely no dough. And you see here the old one, you can see the new one, there's a complete difference. Well, you know, having fresh dough probably helps. Okay, method number 3, and I have my doubts about this, but we're going to try it. Into a glass microwave safe dish, we've sprayed some cooking spray, and in goes our other piece of dough. Cover that up with plastic wrap, and we're going to let that sit for an hour before we try cooking it. So here we are. It sat for an hour. You can see it's all nice and puffy. Now this is going to go in the microwave. So we take the plastic wrap off. And this goes into our microwave. Now supposedly 4 minutes. And that's what I put on the dial. And you can see it spinning around and cooking. Once again, I'm not really sure, and I know the time's going to vary depending on your microwave. This is definitely not done. Oh, we'll put in for another 2 minutes. And it's not done, so in it goes again. Another 2 minutes. It's still not done. We'll put in for another 3, and hopefully that's going to get us close. Now after 10 minutes, not 4, but 10 minutes of microwaving, I think we may have it. Now the one thing I did read in the description was it does not come with a crust. So it got me thinking, you know, that's kind of what panko breadcrumbs are made with. So I check it out. It looks good. Looks like it's stuck on one little side of the dish that I mustn't have sprayed. But the rest of it came out pretty good. And there you go. It's poofy. We look over at see, it's not even brown on the bottom. I wouldn't have expected it out of the microwave. Well, it looks pretty cool. So let's give this a slice and see how this one looks. You can see it's been sitting in the rack for a little while upside down. It's got the marks on it. But look at that. It looks good. There's no dough. It looks like it's completely cooked. So there you go. Microwave bread. How about that? Who would have thought? But I'm definitely going to make panko breadcrumbs out of this thing. There you go. Another great recipe to try. If you do, leave me a comment below. Give me a thumbs up. I'd sure appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.